Hey guys, D Jose 101 back with another video. Um, Tonight I figure I would give my thoughts and insight on Chris Benoit. This is the first time that I've ever really talked about Benoit. 3 years ago, this past week, sometime, we all know what happened with Benoit and two members of the Benoit family. I'm not going to go into details about it. But 3 years later, it's still unbelievable to know that one of the greatest wrestlers in the world is not here with us. I know people are going to get pissed that I'm bringing up Benoit because some people are going to say, fuck him for what he did, but I'm not here to discuss that. I'm here to discuss the wrestler Chris Benoit and some of my favorite memories and matches of him. Um, I can first remember Chris Benoit having a great best of five or best of seven feud with Booker T over the TV title. And believe it or not, that was the feud that really got me into WCW. It wasn't the NWO or anything else at the time, it was Chris Benoit and Booker T. And when I first saw Chris Benoit, I thought this guy, he was gifted. And someday I thought that he would be a world champion. Um, Benoit was one of the all-time greats. He was in the one of the greatest stables ever, the Four Horsemen, and he was honestly poorly utilized in WCW during its later years. Went to the WWF, now known as the WWE. Formed the Radicals with Dean Malenko, another great wrestler, Eddie Guerrero, one of the all-time greats, and Perry Saturn, also. Um, and they debuted as heels. I could remember Al Snow had a match, I believe, against the Road Dogg and Benoit, and company came out, and Benoit did the flying headbutt to the Road Dogg, and I was shocked. I was like, man, holy shit, Benoit, he was just in WCW, and now here he is in the WWF, and I thought that was amazing. And one of my all-time favorite matches happened a year later against Stone Cold Steve Austin, back when Austin was playing the power trip heel, being a psychotic SOB. Benoit said, why don't you put the WWF title on the line against me? And it was great. It was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen within the past 10 years. Of course, Austin won kind of via the screw job finish, but it was still a great match. And then, unfortunately, Benoit went down with the neck injury, and then he came back in 2002. He was going to feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin again, but we all know the story there. Austin left. Then he became tag team champion with Kurt Angle, which I thought that was great because you had two of the all-time greatest wrestlers as a tag team and the first ever WWE tag team champions. Um, and I thought that was a pretty good tag team. And then, he went into a really, really good match with Kurt Angle at Royal Rumble 2003. And Michael Cole said it all. Chris Benoit indeed proved to the world that he could be champion. And then 2004, his crowning greatest moments, winning the Royal Rumble, eliminating Big Show last, coming in the second man at number one to win the Royal Rumble. And he won the World Heavyweight Championship March 14th, 2004, in a triple threat match with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and that was his greatest moment. And he helped create Randy Orton, and then lost the world title to Randy Orton, and then became a U.S. champion and had good feuds with like Chavo Guerrero, William Regal, among others. But, those are just some of my great memories of Chris Benoit and a good career recap, mostly of Benoit. And the question is, do you think WWE is in the right to uh, not acknowledge him I mean, I know that a lot of people are going to say it's right not to acknowledge him on television, and knowing the PG era, it may not be right to acknowledge him on the internet as of now. And I'm not saying as of now do you think they should acknowledge Benoit, but I'm saying years later, possibly, do you think they could acknowledge Benoit? Me personally, I don't know if they ever will really acknowledge Benoit again because of what he did. Do I think he should be mentioned or honored and mentioned or honored for his accomplishments? From a business perspective, I know some people are probably going to agree with this, but not. I don't think he should ever really be acknowledged or mentioned unless it takes many, 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 many years. And then they could start to mention Chris Benoit and honor him in somewhat. I don't know if he'll ever get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, as a fan, I'd like to see it happen, but the business sense says that it may not happen. And I'm sorry that, what happened to Chris and his family. I think it's still a very devastating tragedy. I think it's really, really sad to know that he had something wrong with him. And we just know the rest of the details, and that's it. And I just want to say, Chris, that as a performer, you are one of the all time greats. You will always be one of my all time favorite wrestlers. And thank you for your contributions. Thank you for everything you gave to your fans. Thank you for putting your body on the line for us 300 days a year. Thank you for giving us some classic matches in your overall career. And I just want to say that um, Chris Benoit, the wrestler, is truly, truly missed. And I just don't know what more to say, guys. Sorry if I seem kind of out of sorts talking about this subject. This is my first time talking about it. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.